Dawn breaks over Mogadishu, casting orange and rose across the Indian Ocean and the city's skyline. The port's cranes stand tall, watching over a city that now stirs with hope, not fear. The call to prayer echoes through streets lined with new construction and bustling markets. Where rubble once blocked alleyways, vendors now fill vibrant stalls, and the air is rich with the scent of coffee and sea. New glass buildings rise beside bullet-scarred relics, reminders of a painful past that no longer defines the city. This transformation is the result of years of hard-won progress, not a single event. For decades, Somalia was crippled by billions in debt, unable to invest in its people or future. But in 2025, that cycle ended. Over $4.5 billion in external debt was forgiven. This wasn't just an accounting change, it was a declaration of faith in Somalia's reforms and resilience. The sunrise over Mogadishu now symbolizes a nation stepping out of darkness, ready to chart its own course. A new era has begun, and the city breathes with possibility. Somalia's journey to debt relief was a decade-long marathon of reform. Successive governments tackled insecurity and political fragmentation, determined to prove Somalia could manage itself. Meeting the strict benchmarks of the heavily indebted Poor Countries initiative, Somalia overhauled public finance, unified fiscal systems, and rooted out corruption. Transparent budgets, accountable revenue collection, and anti-money laundering laws became the new norm. Unifying regional and federal finances required tough negotiations and political will. Somali technocrats, many returning from the diaspora, worked tirelessly with international advisors to meet these demands. Each reform was a step toward credibility, changing the world's view from failed state to a nation serious about its future. The narrative shifted. Somalia was no longer a byword for chaos, but a country reclaiming its destiny. Somalia's reforms culminated in landmark agreements that erased its historic debt. The Paris Club's 2024 deal cancelled 99% of Somalia's debt to major creditor nations, a global vote of confidence. Agreements with the Arab Monetary Fund and other creditors followed, signaling broad international support. The IMF and World Bank guided Somalia through rigorous oversight, ensuring reforms were real and lasting. Over $4.5 billion in debt was wiped away, freeing Somalia's budget for the first time in a generation. Now funds, once lost to debt service, pay teachers, equip clinics, and rebuild infrastructure. The government can finally invest in its people and future. The chains of the past have been broken. Debt relief brought not just economic freedom, but a dramatic restoration of Somalia's global standing. Once a symbol of anarchy, Somalia's successful reforms earned it a seat as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council in 2025. Embassies have reopened, and high-level delegations now visit Mogadishu regularly. Somalia is no longer a problem to be managed, but a partner to be courted. Its leaders are welcomed abroad as representatives of a nation with a future. This recognition attracts investment, trade, and security cooperation. The transformation from pariah to partner is a testament to perseverance and unity. Somalia's voice now matters on the world stage, and its journey is just beginning. The real impact of debt relief is seen in the lives of ordinary Somalis. Fatima, a mother in Mogadishu's Bakara market, now works on paved streets under solar lights, earning more and feeling safer. "We are no longer afraid of the darkness," she says, pointing to the new lampposts. In Bosaso, Fisherman Hassan benefits from a modernized port and cold storage, allowing him to save money and send his children to better schools. "My boat is the same, but my life is different," he explains. Across Somalia, schools are rebuilt, teachers paid, and clinics stocked with medicines. Public works employ young people, offering alternatives to militias or piracy. These changes are not isolated. They reflect a renewed social contract. For the first time in a generation, Somalis see their taxes reinvested in their communities. Trust in government grows as people witness real improvements. Debt relief is rebuilding not just infrastructure, but hope and faith in the future. The virtuous cycle of progress and trust is taking root. Somalia's recovery is visible in every street and every story. Somalia's resurgence is a geopolitical event with global implications. Its long coastline and position by the Bab el-Mandeb Strait make it vital for world trade. Once a piracy hotspot, Somalia's stability now attracts investment and strategic interest. Gulf states, Turkey, the US, and China are all vying for influence, investing in ports and infrastructure. Turkey has built its largest overseas military base in Mogadishu, while the UAE and Qatar develop key ports. Somalia's leaders are learning to balance these interests, maximizing benefits without becoming pawns. The nation's future depends on consolidating peace and managing its new geopolitical leverage. Modern ports, potential oil and gas, and a strategic location have transformed Somalia into a coveted partner. The Horn of Africa's new prize is no longer a source of instability, but a nation with choices. Somalia's challenge is to turn opportunity into lasting prosperity. Optimism in Somalia is real, but so are the risks. Al-Shabaab remains a threat, especially in rural areas, and security is still the government's top priority. The African Union's peacekeeping mission is winding down, with Somali forces preparing to take full control. Political tensions between the central government and federal states require constant negotiation. Climate change brings droughts and floods, threatening livelihoods and stability. The influx of investment must be managed to avoid new inequalities and grievances. The fight against corruption must continue with renewed vigor. Any perception of elite enrichment could erode public trust and unravel progress. Somalia's path forward is a delicate balance. Progress must be protected and risks addressed head-on. The new dawn is fragile, and vigilance is essential. As the sun sets over Somalia, the sense of transformation is undeniable. Debt relief has enabled a rebirth. Somalia is building, educating, and healing. The nation is now a valued partner, its strategic location an asset, not a liability. For the Horn of Africa, a stable Somalia means new trade, investment, and hope. World powers are redrawing their maps, recognizing Somalia's new role. Challenges remain: Al-Shabaab, political fragility, and climate threats. The transition to full Somali security will test the nation's resilience. Yet the laughter of children on Lido Beach signals hope reclaimed. Somalia's story is proof that no nation is lost forever. A new dawn is possible. The Horn of Africa's horizon is brighter, filled with promise for the future.